Most real estate investors don't fail because real estate doesn't work. They fail because they don't understand the real game being played here. They think it's about finding properties, running numbers, and signing contracts. But the real game is about psychology, behavior, strategy, and execution under pressure. If you're an investor who feels stuck, if you feel like you're doing everything right, but still not getting results, this video is going to make you very uncomfortable, but in the best way possible. Because today I'm breaking down the top 10 biggest problems real estate investors face. And we're not going to sugarcoat it here. We're going to expose the real pain and explain why it happens and show you the truth behind it. Now let's jump in. Problem number 1, I don't have enough deals. Now most investors say there are no more deals right now. The market's too competitive, everything's overpriced. No, the market doesn't suck. Your deal flow sucks. Your machine sucks. If the only leads you ever see are MLS, Zillow, and wholesalers sending the same crap 1,000 buyers at a time, you're playing the kiddie pool when everyone else is playing in the ocean. Real investors pull their own lists, build marketing systems, talk directly to sellers, solve problems others run from, think creatively instead of linearly. Now here's the painful truth. You don't have a deal problem. You have a deal generation, lack of strategy, lack of consistency problem. If you're not getting the deals or the leads every week, it's not the economy, it's not the market. It's because you haven't built a predictable deal finding engine. Until you take responsibility for creating that deal flow, you're not a real investor. You're a spectator hoping for the opportunity. Now, problem number 2, I don't have the money. This is the most common excuse in this real estate world. If I just had more money, I'll just invest once my financing situation improves. I wish I could do deals like you, Frank. I just don't have enough capital. But let me be real with you for a second here. Money is never the first problem. Money is the reward for solving the real problems. Private lenders don't invest in property. They invest in your confidence, your competence, and your ability to structure deals, your actual leadership. If people aren't giving you the money, it's not because money doesn't exist. There is more capital flowing around than ever. Retirement accounts, private lenders, hard money, equity partners, creative financing, seller financing, and subject to. The money's everywhere. If you don't have access to capital, it's because you haven't become the kind of leader people trust with their money. That's the part nobody really likes to hear, the real reality of it. So, here begs the question, how do I get this money, Frank? The real question you should be asking yourself is, how do I become the kind of investor people want to give me their money? When you solve that, money stops being a barrier and becomes a tool. Problem number 3, fear and lack of confidence. Let's talk about the invisible killer of real estate careers, fear. Fear keeps you stuck. Fear keeps you researching instead of executing. Fear keeps you watching videos like this instead of writing offers. Fear keeps you on the sidelines, convincing yourself that you're just not smart enough. Now, most investors fail. They fail psychology. They never start. They never commit. They never push past discomfort. And fear only comes from one thing, lack of knowledge and lack of experience. When you don't understand contracts, risk, negotiation, exit strategies, financing, you panic. Confidence comes from motivational videos. Confidence comes from skill times repetition equals results. Now, once you understand the game, fear comes into clarity. Clarity turns into confidence, and confidence turns into real action. Action turns into results. Now, problem number 4 is shiny object syndrome. Now, most investors don't have that strategy problem. They have a commitment problem. 1 week they're wholesaling, 2 weeks later they're flipping, then they're chasing an Airbnb. Oh wait, storage units, multifamily, then land. My cousin has a vending machine business, then crypto. Oh wait, back to wholesaling. They never master anything. They're a jack of all trades and master of none. They're collecting strategies instead of building expertise. Your strategy must align with your time, your capital, your experience, your market, your personality, and your goals. If you're consistently switching paths every time it gets hard, you're not pivoting, you're escaping discomfort. Focus wins, depth wins, and mastery wins. Pick a lane already, commit to it, build around it, dominate it when you're starting off. Now, problem number 5, they don't know how to talk to sellers. Now, most investors think real estate is all about numbers, and it's absolutely the complete opposite. Real estate's about people. Deals don't come from spreadsheets. Deals come from conversations. Sellers don't care about your calculator. They care about relief, certainty, ease, respect, trust. Now, most investors, even the ones I've met, talk to sellers like a banker, a shark, or a desperate amateur. They don't ask questions. They don't listen. They don't uncover their pain. They just throw offers and hope something sticks based on the numbers. Now, here's the real truth. If you can't communicate, if you can't build trust, if you can't negotiate, if you can't lead a conversation, you will always lose those deals to someone like me who can. Again, real estate is not a numbers game. It's a relationship and problem-solving game. Now, problem number 6. They don't understand creative financing. Most investors only know 2 ways to buy: pay them cash or get a bank loan. And when that doesn't work, they say the deal doesn't work. Absolutely not. Your knowledge doesn't work. Creative financing changes the game. Subject to, seller financing, land contracts, wraps, articles for deed, lease options. When price kills a deal, terms relieves it. When banks say no, the seller can say yes. When investors walk away, you turn that dead deal into a life-changing event. Creative financing is the difference between I can do deals and I can do deals in any market, any interest rate, in any condition. Once you learn this, the game becomes unfair, in your favor. Now, problem number 7. No systems, no follow-up. Too many investors are running businesses. They're running chaos. Random calls, random sticky notes everywhere, voicemails ignored, leads forgotten, zero organization. CRM, they don't got a CRM. No process, no follow-up, no accountability. Then they complain, I don't got any deals. Of course you don't. Your business is duct taped on hope. Real businesses run systems. Great investors don't chase deals. They build machines that produce deals. Problem number 8. Some investors try doing everything themselves until they burn out. I was 100% one of those investors in the past. Bad relationships ruin businesses. Good partnerships scale empires. Partnerships require clear roles, clarity, expectations in writing. Not we're friends, we'll split a 50-50, and hey, that deal sounds like fun. And you will need a team eventually of contractors, agents, lenders, tax professionals, attorneys, operations support. You can go fast alone, but you'll only go far with the right team. Now, problem number 9, they don't understand the markets. Most investors don't study economics, they follow hype. This ain't the stock market. They complain about rates, competition, inventory, instead of asking what strategy wins in this environment. Markets change, cycles change, strategies evolve. Pros adopt, amateurs panic. Now, problem number 10, no long-term wealth plan. Now, the biggest strategy that they think they can wholesale forever, they can flip forever, they keep chasing checks instead of building ownership. Transactional income keeps you busy. Ownership and equity make you wealth. Wealth is built through cash flow, equity, debt pay down, appreciation, and time. This is a crock pot, not a microwave. If you don't have a long-term plan, you're not building wealth. You're just hustling. If you felt called out in this video, good. That means you're self-aware. Your self-awareness is the doorway to growth. Your problem isn't real estate. Your problem isn't market. Your problem isn't even luck. Your problem is skill, strategy, structure, execution, and leadership. And the beautiful thing is, all this can be molded and developed. If you want more training, if you want more scripts, frameworks, deal breakdowns, and real mentorship from someone actually doing deals in the real world, stay plugged in, subscribe, and comment below, I'm ready, so I know you're serious. Because the difference between struggling investors and successful ones is not intelligence, it's guidance, execution, and consistency. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here or you've been living on a rock and seeing me for the first time, I don't know what you're waiting for. Subscribe below for some more kick-ass real estate content.